Hello friends, hope you have been well. It has been a crazy week. The state of Victoria is fighting a COVID outbreak, New South Wales is locking down bars and restaurants again, and in the tech world, Twitter celebrities got hacked and China is building their own internet. 2020 just keeps on giving. So to all you Victorians out there watching, I hope you stay safe and get through this. We're all rooting for you, and who cares about celebrities getting hacked on Twitter? And though the Chinese internet is a little bit interesting. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the Dirt Report, where we discuss Aussie tech news with some spicy international bites. Remember, if you like this video, then tap that like button. And if you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe with the red button below. Welcome to this week's episode. We have a lot of stories to share. Also, this episode of the Dirt Report is sponsored by Trend Micro. More on that in a moment. So today on the Aussie side, we have Kogan in court. 5G to cost Australia billions more. TPG and Vodafone merger finally done. What does that mean for you? And security concerns on TikTok. And on the international side, we have another TikTok app. And a man spends wedding savings on a PC. Okay, let's get started with our first story. Comment below if you have recently purchased anything from Kogan. I certainly have many times in the past. In fact, I bought 2 Samsung mobile phones 12 months apart because they had the best price. I even bought a robot vac from them as it wasn't available anywhere else, and they still had the lowest price. But each time, I was never pulled in by any of Kogan's marketing. I went out of my way to check each reseller's price and choose the cheapest one. But this situation is rather concerning. Kogan has faced court after making false and misleading representations about a tax time sales promotion, and ultimately they have breached Australian consumer law. In my opinion, Kogan itself is very grey market. I bought a Google Home from them and it came with a Middle Eastern power plug. Then there was an alternative included, but to me it seems that they purchased their products from certain countries for a much lower price, avoiding distribution deals in Australia, and so they sell here via their online store. It seems that while the customer gets a cheap price, the postage is slow and warranty claims take just as long. In any case, back in 2018, Kogan did a tax time discount of about 10% and emailed out the deal to 10 million customers, and 930,000 were via SMS. Sounds like a pretty expensive campaign, right? All those emails and texts do cost. Well, close to the end, they even reminded their customers that it's ending soon with slogans like 48 hours left and only until midnight tonight. Those you'll miss out shenanigans. So you may be wondering, so what? Tax time deals happen all the time. Well, in this case, Kogan did what I would expect Hollywood could make a movie with Nicolas Cage about. Kogan was giving away the 10% discount, but they increased the price of their products at the time of the promotion, specifically around 600 of the most likely products to be sold. You know, the ones that are only worth buying on Kogan? Well, a few years later, the ACCC got their man, or at least started the process to get their man. They're certainly out for blood, aka cash monies. There will be a hearing on relief, including penalties, declarations, injunctions, pecuniary penalties, corrective notices, and costs against Kogan. Did I say that right? Here is what the ACCC Chair Rod Sims had to say. We brought this case because we were concerned that the advertised price reductions were not genuine savings. Many customers who took up the offer on one or more of the 600 or so products in many cases actually paid the same as or more than what they would have paid immediately before and after the promotion. All businesses must ensure that their advertisements do not mislead customers about the nature of a promotion and that any promised savings are genuine. And what he did, or Kogan, or what the company did, is pretty scummy. We will know more in the coming months as the case progresses. Let me know below if you have ever had to return an item to Kogan. How did that go for you? I'd really like to know. Let's get on to our next story. And while 5G is making its way into Australia and many other countries, slowly but surely one day we'll have a large enough coverage to make it a seamless experience. But there is a cost to this rollout. How much is a 5G rollout, right? Well, Huawei says it's billions more if you don't use our tech, and they have been touting that for a few years now. That's right, the conversation has been restarted again as the UK banned Huawei 5G tech this week from their rocky shores. To the ban, Huawei chairman responded with saying that it will cost the UK £2 billion more and delay the rollout of 5G by 3 years. I guess the choice came down to give China control of your high-speed telecommunications or delay it and spend a bit more. Must have been a very tough choice indeed. In fact, a few years ago, Huawei chairman Ken Hu said Australia's ban on the use of 5G equipment will result in the cost of deploying wireless base stations being higher by almost 40%. These figures came from a report called The Value of Competition on 5G Network Deployment. I wonder who paid for that. Obviously, Australia has already spent $51 billion on the NBN, so who's to say they aren't willing to spend a few more on a 5G network? Well, the issue here is it's the mobile providers who are doing the work and spending the money. They would be more than happy to pay less, pay cash, and sell your data to China via Huawei, but instead they have to do it themselves. This in turn will mean that customers of each mobile network will subsidize the 5G rollout with higher mobile bills. The money has to come from somewhere after all. 5G is a great technology with the potential to provide many Aussies with high-speed internet access, but if it's not affordable and sparsely rolled out, it won't be the NBN killer many touting it to be. On the other hand, this is a great opportunity for Aussie startups to develop 5G hardware in our nation. I'm sure we have the skills. We created Wi-Fi after all. Let me know below if you know of any company developing 5G hardware in Australia. Might be a good stock to invest in. So this story really segues well into our next one. TPG and Vodafone have finally merged, and it's time to look at what this actually means for you, me, and Dupree. First off, the two companies are now worth over $16 billion and trade as TPG on the stock market, and some personnel changes will see the old guard stick around for a little while more, but with some changes. TPG Chief Executive David Tao will assume the role of board chairman with Robert Milner, Helen Nugent, Arlen Tansey and Shane Tao as part of the board too. The previous Vodafone board director Barry Roberts-Thompson, except TPG directors Dennis Ledbury and Joseph Pang, who have resigned. Then Vodafone boss Inaki Barota will be chief executive and managing director of the combined companies. But you may be wondering, what does that actually mean for you? Well, Vodafone's mobile sites will also be connected to TPG's fibre network to increase performance, and over time more assets will be combined to strengthen the entire network. In fact, some customers in Canberra and Melbourne will be the first to benefit, and they'll receive a 20% capacity increase as over 100 sites have additional spectrum deployed. But don't expect any price changes just yet, the least of which don't expect any reduction in prices. Let me know below your thoughts about the merger and if it will mean competition in the market. It'll be interesting how this affects Telstra and Optus. Now, no other changes have been said for the existing brands under TPG, which includes Ionet, Libara, AAPT and Internode. Let's move on to our next story. The Sydney Morning Herald ran a story about how the Morrison government will be launching an inquiry into Chinese-owned TikTok and WeChat. From my view, this ain't much of a surprise, and it took way too long. Everyone loves to pounce on all things China. That's not to say there isn't any truth or need for it. India has already banned the app TikTok. Trump is looking into doing so, and Australia is eyeing up an investigation. Looks like we need some evidence first. Well, what's the issue, you might ask? What could China gain from having access to billions of hours of teenagers making idiots of themselves to generic background music? Well, the data itself is great for facial recognition, and it's certainly in the realm of possibilities, future-wise. For now, a review by the government will start, and from the report, they will decide whether to ban apps such as TikTok and or if there will be any other actions against other Chinese-owned apps in Australia, because there are thousands, but none as popular as WeChat and TikTok. The problem here is that if you really want any of these apps, you can always sideload them on an Android. Maybe Apple users would be the only ones to miss out if there was a national ban. This article adds that this comes after a parliamentary inquiry into the risk posed to Australia's democracy by foreign interference through social media companies that was established last year, which so far has not yielded any particular results. On the other side of the fence, TikTok has come out and said they are an individual company and are not part nor interested in Chinese politics. For further reading, I have linked the article below. Let me know below if the government should be blocking apps from countries it deems dangerous to Australia's democracy. It'd be interesting to see. Now, I have been approached quite a few times to throw in an ad for a product or service on the Dirt Report. I have declined many, and will continue to curate that until I find that there is a fit with me, and when I find it is something I can actually recommend after testing. So let me tell you about Trend Micro's Home Network Security. It is a one-stop shop to protect your home network from cyber attacks, malware, and other security intrusions. This plug-in and play physical device protects all your smart devices across your home network. So the question is, what can it actually do for you? Well, it can scan your devices for vulnerable passwords to help you make better security decisions, and it will notify you if any cyber attacks were blocked on any of your devices. Now, it also protects your personal, financial data from hacking, phishing, ransomware, risky remote connections. It blocks dangerous files from downloading, protects your web browsing, and even blocks ads. Now, if you're a parent, you will love the powerful parental controls, from monitoring to blocking sites on all devices or just one, even blocking websites by category. Then you can even set internet limits on the go to protect your kids from mature content, and even get real-time notifications when little Jimmy steals a tablet into his room. Now, as soon as the device connects to the Wi-Fi, bam, you've got mail. Even better, the new Guardian feature lets you monitor your kids' devices when they are in use outside of your home network. Not long ago, we had Australian home security cameras in Queensland and New South Wales infiltrated by Russian hackers and live streamed online. This is how you can protect your home. Now, Trend Micro's home network security is smart security for all your smart devices, and all these controls are at your fingertips. You can control your home security from the app on the go. To learn more about this home network security device from Trend Micro, click the link below. And for our audience, we have a special code to get 10% off your purchase. Use TMHNSP10 in the checkout. All links below. Big thanks to Trend Micro for sponsoring this episode of The Dirt Report. Now let's finish off with some international news. If we didn't have enough TikTok, Instagram comes along and dumps another social media virus on us. Instagram has decided to add a new feature to their ever-increasing influencer platform for fake models and spam. It's called Instagram, and in the spirit of cuteness, Reels. Instagram Reels will be a TikTok clone of their main feature, 15-second videos set to generic background music. Now, as mentioned earlier in today's episode, with TikTok is a security concern, and its Chinese ownership has certainly led to many fearing for user data contained in the app, and it's recently discovered access to Apple's Notes. But that hasn't stopped it from becoming the most popular downloaded app in the US, and it's ever popular here in Australia too. Facebook used to have something similar called Lasso, which lasted as long as Obamacare. Now, shortly after closing that, Reel will go live, but for now, Instagram Reel is only available in France, Germany, Brazil, and India. Let me know below about your excitement. I can't wait to see all the Reel talks on Insta. And lastly, a story that really hit home. I remember saving money for my wedding, and it was certainly tempting to spend some of it. Some might spend it on a car, holiday, or maybe even gamble it away. Well, in my mind, I was keen to splurge on a PC. You know, just drop like, I don't know, 10K and just go crazy. Well, I held fast and instead had a wedding. Do I regret it every day? Does my face show that? I don't know. But I've always wondered what my wife would do if I just blew all our savings on a PC, and hot damn, someone did it. How did this become big news? Well, the soon-to-maybe-be wife in question turned to Reddit's relationship advice to seek internet strangers' advice after her maybe soon-to-be hubby blew over 11,000 Australian dollaroos on a brand new bowler PC. She was not a happy Jan. Here are some highlights from the post. When she came home that night, she saw a very colorful keyboard, mouse, headphones, and microphone set, all wireless. She asked him how much it all cost, and he said he spent their entire savings of 8,000 United States dollaroos to buy the PC. In her own words, she said, "We had a very big argument that night, and I scolded him for spending all our savings because it contained not only his money, but my money as well, and we were saving it for our wedding." No update on this so far, but if that's all she said to him, well, he got off scot-free. Though after all, she did also give him general permission to do so after he begged, though she would have been clearer on how much he should be allowed to spend. Let me know below if your partner has ever just blown a huge chunk of money on something ridiculous. Also, to be clear, PCs are not ridiculous. Henry Cavill just built one recently. And that's all I have for you this week. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I hope to see you all again next week. Remember, if you like this video, then tap that like button. And if you would like to see more, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and bye!